grade. Wait, were you even listening? You haven't taken a single note?
If you want...
Hey guys, it's me, King Dog Ass 996. Welcome back to this live stream. More SpongeBob theories out there, and then I left off of the robots theory. Hope you have a great Easter. And I did. I posted a couple of Easter videos and short videos. I'm still pretty sick. Still have a cough. I'm doing a lot more better, but I still have coughing, sneezing, and coughing up phlegm. It's green. My phlegm is green. So I'm trying to get over the. That's my phone. But the Omnitrix sound. Anyway, besides that, let me take my phone just in case. Oh. Well, let me just do this. Anyway, if I say what I'm saying now. Besides that. So I'm trying to get over the COVID. I been taking medicine. And he's started to take taking medicine still. The liquid medicine I've been taking, and yeah. Besides that, why not just go and check this out, guys? Hey guys, welcome to the stream.
I want to bring real-world logic into this and argue about how long whale meat would last. I think the real world actually supports my theory. When a whale dies in the real-world ocean, it has a very profound effect on the environment. Entire marine ecosystems will form around a decomposing whale corpse, and scavengers can feed off of it for up to 50 years. This is a phenomenon called whale fall. And this explains why total chaos breaks out whenever Bikini Bottom runs out of Krabby Patties.
The Krabby Patty is what ties us all together. Without it, it will be a complete breakdown of social order.
Aren't you overreacting a bit?
Welcome to the apocalypse, Mr. Squidward.
Just like a real whale fall, the ecosystem of Bikini Bottom is completely dependent.
Wait. I thought it was with the robots. Yeah, there was this no evolve theory. So we passed the robots? No. I think we passed. Yeah, so this is the evolve theory.
On it. Also, another YouTuber, Athena P, pointed out to me that there's this moment in a newer episode of the Patrick Star Show.
This episode addresses Alex Bale's Krabby Patties are made from Pearl's mother theory pretty directly.
I'm Eugene Krabs.
Krabby Patties are made with whale oil.
You leave my daughter out of this.
What? Okay, I saw some new Patrick show, but a couple episodes, but I never seen this before.
So that's something. I mean, take that as you will. So yeah, I still think the Pearl's mother Krabby Patty theory is solid. It's at least better than that crab meat theory that people won't stop commenting about. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna quickly debunk that theory because I know people are still gonna comment about it on this video. Here's an extra bonus mini theory, just because this theory annoys me so much.
What if you could taste the movies? We turned that idea into an $11.3 million business with Wick.
That was insane. I think there was it was a episode I'd never seen before. The Patrick Show episode. And I see the other episodes of he was a caveman, he was a robot, he was a caveman, a robot. He did his own shows. He was going to get his. Talking about Patrick. Patrick was the caveman. Pac-Man was Patrick Pig. Patrick was a caveman. Patrick was a robot. Patrick was a getting a job with SpongeBob. And back in time, he went back in time with the early SpongeBob. That's what seems so far, and there's some other ones too. Other TV shows, other episodes I didn't claim and didn't say yet. Some other ones, but I never seen that one before. I did not see that one. Plastic, the spin-off,
So
sorry for that.
So a lot of people think
Still coughing. But I never see the other Patrick shows. Patrick episodes, I mean. Patrick's show episodes, new episodes of the old episodes. I watched the old episodes and there was a new episode, but there was a couple of more episodes I need to watch.
that Krabby Patties are actually made of crab meat, and Mr. Krabs is going around killing all the crabs in Bikini Bottom. This is the comment I will get for the rest of my life.
It's crab meat.
Actual crab? I mean, why else would Mr. Krabs be the old?
Yeah, that doesn't make. Well, it kind of makes sense because you don't see other crabs in the Mr. Krabs. You hardly see anywhere. You just see regular side characters or regular fish. So, anyway, you don't see any kind of crabs in the show. You hardly see them in like in the Crusher Crabs or in like SpongeBob's or mostly in Mr. Krabs or in Kitty Bottom or Jellyfish Fields or Blue Lagoon. I don't know why it's hard to say that. Blue Lagoon. It's like a beach, but it's like for SpongeBob Patrick just to having a beach day. You don't see that in crabs or anywhere, or in the chunk bucket either.
Only crab in Bikini Bottom, except for his mom and his dad and his nephew.
Well, okay, let me take that back. You don't see crab, but you do see crabs, because crabs. Not often. You see like the regular other characters, but often new episodes you see like a couple of crabs in new episodes.
Fuse. Okay, but there's no crabs outside of his family, except for this guy, and this doctor, and this kid, and these two crabs, and this circus guy. But besides them.
Yeah. These are new episodes. Wait a minute. That looks like a new episode. Yeah, this is the music. This is all new episodes. Yeah, that was not in Mr. Krabs, but that was in the let's see here. His was, let's see here. SpongeBob was trying to be a surgeon that time. Squidward had to go to his some kind of recital, and I didn't see this. I never see this picture or this scene. That's all. I never seen France or Paul. Well, this looks like a picture. Anyway, I seen this before with the circus. That's a new episode. This is a new episode. These two. And this one's pretty new. I mean, kind of older, but kind of new. And it's new. And there's crab like here, crab. Looks like Mr. Krabs. Mr. Krabs Jr. And also that's Mr. Krabs. That looks like Mr. Krabs. That looks like Mr. Krabs. Is that siblings or something? So that's his. Wait, is that his nephew? This 1, 2, 3. Oh, yeah.
There's no crabs in Bikini Bottom. Okay, even if there is not like a lot of crabs, there's equally not a lot of sponges or starfish or puffer girls in Bikini Bottom.
But there is a lot of let's see here. There's a lot of Fred. My leg.
Bikini Bottom is like 90% generic fish. But then why is it named the Krusty Krab? Cause the owner's a crab and that's his last name. But even if we ignore that, it's like, why would Mr. Krabs advertise his dark secret as the name of his restaurant? But then why is the Krusty Krab shaped like a crab trap? Okay, this is actually the one good piece of evidence in this theory. I think it's a little ambiguous whether it's supposed to be a crab trap or a lobster trap, so I did some digging, and Patchy actually calls it a lobster trap in a SpongeBob DVD bonus.
The Krusty Krab looks like a New England-style lobster trap, but now it just traps the pocket change of Bikini Bottom's hungry denizens.
They also find a very similar-looking building in Camp Coral and call it a lobster trap.
Oh no! We've walked into a real life lobster trap!
I could maybe see this evidence kind of working, but you kind of expect if this was their secret.
I mean, it's not a crab shack. It's not a crab shack. Crab trap. But it's a lobster trap.
Intention. They would like call it a crab trap, you know? But what about the scene where Mr. Crab eats one and he says that it tastes like him?
So that's what I taste like.
This is supposed to be the smoking gun piece of evidence that's all over TikTok, but nobody actually shows the clip with context.
Mommy, my Krabby Patty tastes funny.
Well, no wonder. It's all old and dried out, like that man right there. Now put that thing where it belongs, in the garbage.
La 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 la.
Well, little Patty, we're two of a kind. We've both lost our luster. So that's what I taste like.
Mr. Krabs says the patty tastes like him because the lady called the patty old and dry like him. And he's been feeling insecure about his age in this episode. Like, I'm not saying the Pearl's mom theory is the best theory ever, but it's better than this shit. Come on.
SpongeBob falls for how it holds up. How does it hold up?
All right, the evolution theory. I know I like to call each of my theories the darkest theory I've ever made, but like, this is the actual darkest one. We all know it. This is some sick, twisted shit. I think this theory has its flaws and relies on a couple big assumptions, but at the end of the day, it's still just so entertaining and interesting to me that I'd probably still put it right in the middle at 4th place, even after all the corrections and alternative ideas. This next mini theory is also kind of an extension to the evolution theory, but it's also a really interesting brand new theory about the history of Bikini Bottom and the true purpose of this show. Let's get into it.
Humans of
So, if there's one thing I'd probably change about my evolution theory, it would be the second part about the war.
After the war, Krabs stayed secluded in a deep depression that seemed endless.
I think there definitely was a war in Bikini Bottom, but I don't think it was between evolved and primitive fish anymore. There is just way more evidence that the war Mr. Krabs fought in was actually a war between fish and humans. And I think this concept for a human war has been secretly present in the show from the very start. Every single building in Bikini Bottom is made out of some sort of debris from the human world. Now, this is a reference to how marine ecosystems in real life often form around things that fell from the surface. But the debris isn't always just random objects or pollution. A surprising amount of the buildings feel like they're from the aftermath of a massive war. There are a ton of buildings made out of sunken ships, but there's also anchors, submarines, lobster traps, bait and tackle boxes.
That is true. Like, you don't know today on the oceans, like scuba divers found like different kind of ships broken in half, or different kind of treasure, any kind of thing out there in the deep blue sea. I don't know why I said that, but still, you don't know what's down there. So it's a big huge mystery still. But when you hit it's probably be super dark, or probably I don't know. It's gonna be super dark. Hope not. That's kind of very scary. But yeah, they'll find just other things out there for the ocean. Stuff we can't explain. Some we can explain for a long time, but the best old. Let's go back.
Is under
ships.
One thing I'd probably change
After the war,
they're devolved and fought in concept for a single bit of reference to how marine ecosystems in real life.
Something like this. Let's go back.
If often form around things that fell.
Yeah, any tiles or boats or anything down to the waist of the ocean, and you can't tell like this is like a ship torn apart way before your time or anybody's time for the pirate era, or any kind of history of boats or different stuff. Wait, that's a tire. That looks like a tire, isn't it? I don't know. I can't be sure it's a tire. Looks like tires to me. Yeah, it probably is a tire.
From the surface. But the debris isn't always just random objects or pollution. A surprising amount of the buildings feel like they're from the aftermath of a massive war. There are a ton of buildings made. Bait and tackle box. Really look at the show's aesthetic. It gives the impression that Bikini Bottom is an Adventure Time style post-apocalyptic wasteland where a massive war between humans and fish took place. Mr. Krabs Navy Convention Center is literally a giant torpedo. We get further confirmation of this as early as Season 1 Hooky, when a bunch of humans start fishing in Bikini Bottom. Pay close attention to how Mr. Krabs reacts.
They're back! They're back, I tell you! I saw it with my own eyes!
They're back. Mr. Krabs has dealt with this before, probably because these were the same hooks from the war he fought in. From humans' perspective, they're just fishing, but for the citizens of Bikini Bottom, this was a brutal war. And listen to what he says about what happens if the hooks catch you.
They cook you, and then they eat you, or worse.
What could be worse than that?
Gift shops.
You'll end up in gift shops. This gives a whole new context to the Shell City gift shop we see in the SpongeBob movie.
Wait a second. Those fish are dead.
All these dead fish are victims from the human war. Look, the gift shop in Hookie even has a very similar sign to the Shell City gift shop. Among the dead fish in Shell City, we specifically see the same type of royal seahorses King Neptune uses, which makes sense because as King of the Sea, he would probably be the one commanding the army to go fight the humans. Movie Neptune even talks about Shell City like he has personal experience with it.
My crown is in the forbidden Shell City! No one who's gone to Shell City has ever returned!
I guess this could also mean Mr. Puff was a victim of the war, but I kind of prefer the idea from my new Mrs. Puff mini theory. We also see giant hooks all over Mr. Krabs' wall of memorabilia, along with other human fishing tools. There's even a picture of the Bikini Bottom museum ship before it was sunk in the war and later turned into a museum. There's also this picture of a human pirate. And before you say anything, no, this is not Patchy. It's probably just someone he fought in the war. Listen, I still definitely think these pictures could be Pearl's mother, and she's still the source of the Krabby Patty meat. But instead of Mr. Krabs killing her, she was probably just a casualty of the human war, and Mr. Krabs just found her dead body and adopted her orphan daughter. There's also the Hook Museum, which with this context looks much more just like a straight up war museum. Now, these are smaller hooks, so I initially thought maybe this was just a museum of hooks made by evolved fish to catch primitive fish like clams, but listen closely to the audio Mr. Krabs is listening to.
The three-pronged jig hook was first sighted in local waters more than 100 years ago.
The hook was first sighted in local waters more than 100 years ago. This is definitely a museum of human hooks, and we now know this war has been going on for at least 100 years. There's also tons of movies and TV shows in Bikini Bottom based around the horrors of hooks.
Tonight's frightening feature.
The idea of this human war is everywhere in the show, and it's played a big role in shaping the culture of Bikini Bottom. But here's the strange thing about all of this. The Bikini Bottom we see today is not at war. The only time we see humans fishing in Bikini Bottom is in this one single episode, and Mr. Krabs even says they're back.
They're back!
As if this is not a normal occurrence. This implies that the humans previously stopped attacking for some reason. So what ended this great human war that lasted for at least 100 years? Well, clearly humans and fish have a much more peaceful relationship now. The entire SpongeBob SquarePants show is made by humans with the help of certain fish, including Mr. Krabs, who used to fight against them. What if the reason why the war ended was because of this show? The original human research team that was mentioned in the SpongeBob Pitch Bible showed the world that Bikini Bottom had extremely intelligent life and proved that instead of killing the fish, they could peacefully profit off of them by making their lives into a TV show. SpongeBob doesn't even know it, but I think he might be the reason why a 100-year-long brutal war between humans and fish has come to a peaceful end. And that is the human.
This theory does make sense, but I don't know that. And it's just a theory, I don't know that actually true, but it does make a lot of sense. Like a lot more sense, honestly. Anyway.
War theory.
Apparently you can go from 0 to a complete site in just a single prompt with Wix Harmony. I don't know if this is going to be possible. Where vibe coding meets drag and drop freedom. We'll see about that. All right, let me try to make up a site to sell some like theoretical
So the continuity with King Neptune is a bit of a mess. There are 2 different King Neptunes. There's a King Poseidon. There's 3 different royal palaces. 2 of them are called the City of Atlantis, but there's also a 3rd unrelated City of Atlantis. It's confusing to say the least. But there is actually a way to explain how all of this is intentional and connects together. This is a story of power, deception, and betrayal. This is the Neptune theory.
Yeah.
King Neptune is the ruler of the seven seas and the Roman god of the ocean. If you watch my evolution theory, you know there's also a good chance he's the reason why fish in Bikini Bottom are so evolved and able to talk. He lives in the city of Atlantis with his wife Queen Amphitrite and his son Triton. But in the first SpongeBob movie, he's replaced by a completely different King Neptune who has a completely different daughter named Mindy. These guys don't look or sound at all the same, so how can they both exist in this universe? Well, there's already an interesting theory out there about this. It's widely believed that the SpongeBob movie takes place in the future after the events of the show. So widely believed that I got hundreds of comments about it in my Mrs. Puff theory. Yep, I know guys, I heard what you said. The creator of SpongeBob, Steven Hillenburg, said he wanted to end the series with the movie, and it being canonically at the end of the SpongeBob timeline would explain why we never see the Krusty Krab 2, or any of the other characters from the movie in the later SpongeBob episodes. And some people believe that the reason why movie Neptune is so different is because he's actually Neptune's son, Triton, all grown up. And that's a pretty cool theory, but I don't buy it. Other than Triton looking nothing like movie Neptune, I've never actually believed that the SpongeBob movie takes place in the future. Despite there being many people who commented about it on my Mrs. Puff theory as if it was a proven fact, there's never actually been any official confirmation of it. Steven Hillenburg only said that he wanted to stop making SpongeBob after the movie. He never said anything about where the movie actually takes place in the timeline of the show. And we do actually briefly see Neptune's daughter Mindy show up later in the show in SpongeBob's Big Birthday Blowout. There's no way she'd be there unless the show took place after the events of the movie. You know, I still get this comment to this day, like people...
Yeah, I was asked the exact same last video. What even happened to Mindy and what happened to the movie King Neptune? Doesn't make no sense.
So, the company hired an actor to pretend to be the king, and there is actually a ton of evidence in the show to support this. King Neptune is supposed to live in the great city of Atlantis, but in the movie he just lives in some random sandcastle, almost like they just built a discount version for the movie. But the real evidence comes from season 10, episode 18, Lost and Found, where SpongeBob goes beneath the Krusty Krab to look for something in the Lost and Found. As he searches through the surprisingly massive collection of items, on one of the shelves we see something mind-blowing. The crown worn by King Neptune in the SpongeBob movie. The entire plot of the movie hinges on the fact that Neptune thinks Mr. Krabs following the trend of making all their characters younger to appeal to a younger demographic. It's been done before, and it's never very good. They also completely contradict the continuity of the main show by having characters like Sandy and SpongeBob meet as kids when we know they actually met as adults in the main show. Look, I am having a hard enough time figuring out this show's continuity on its own. I do not need another show full of contradictions to make it even harder. But the creators actually did something very clever to make the continuity work. The 7th episode of Camp Coral ends with one of the biggest plot twists I've ever seen from this show. So in this episode, SpongeBob actually discovers the Krabby Patty secret formula way before it was supposed to be created by Mr. Krabs. But at the end of the episode, it gets accidentally destroyed by Sandy, and then we get this mind-blowing scene.
This is Little Cheeks calling Big Cheeks. This is Big Cheeks receiving you from the future. Your plan worked perfectly. The formula burned up before Mr. Plankton could nab it. I knew sending you to Camp Coral was the right thing to do. Bye, future me. Mission accomplished, timeline preserved.
So Sandy used time travel to send her past self to Camp Coral so that she could make sure the Krabby Patty formula didn't get discovered before it was supposed to. They actually figured out a way to make this messed up continuity make sense. Don't you dare tell me this show doesn't care about its continuity. Can I also just say that this scene lines up perfectly with my television theory? A major part of that theory is that Sandy is actually a spy working for the showrunners and is secretly making sure everything stays on track. And then what do we see a month after I post my theory? Sandy secretly manipulating everyone to keep the show on track. Just gonna give myself a little pat on the back there.
He's enjoying himself. I love that.
But enough gloating. What does any of this have to do with King Poseidon? Well, this proves that Camp Coral and the movie that sets it up are in an alternate timeline. The events that have taken place in the show are not the same events in this movie. The continuity errors like Sandy and SpongeBob meeting, or Poseidon being the king of the sea instead of Neptune, can be explained by this shift in the timeline. So there you go. King Poseidon and King Neptune are from completely separate timelines. That's why we never see any reference to King Poseidon in the show. And that is the Neptune theory. Huh. I mean, that wasn't so hard. I guess I'm done here.
Neptune stirred up quite a gale tonight. He must be mad about something.
That's silly. Everyone knows Poseidon is ruler of the undersea. Everyone knows Poseidon is ruler of the undersea.
They're in the same timeline.
Why can't anything ever be easy?
With Google Play Games, you can play unlocked. Unlock bigger screens.
This is the clip that really made me decide to make this theory. The beginning of Season 5, Episode 19, Spongehenge, shows two fish arguing over whether Neptune or Poseidon is the real ruler of the sea. It's like the creators are directly telling us that both of these characters somehow exist in the same timeline, and it's our job to figure out how the puzzle pieces fit together. So, let's take a look. Despite both of these characters having similar appearances and personalities, there is one very important difference between them. Poseidon doesn't have powers. We've seen many times that King Neptune has magical abilities that he can use at any time, even without his trident. But in the entire third SpongeBob movie, we never see Poseidon use any powers or magical abilities, except for lighting up his trident, but all he has to do for that is just flip a switch. And we know from the episode Trident Trouble that you don't even need to be a god to use the trident. And at the end of the third movie, we find out Poseidon is actually in terrible shape. If you remember at the end of the episode Neptune's Spatula, Neptune briefly turned SpongeBob into a god, and we can see that having god powers gives you a perfect body. So why is Poseidon in such terrible shape? Because he doesn't actually have powers, only Neptune does. Even Neptune's wife, Queen Amphitrite, has to use technology to zap someone, unlike Neptune, who only has to use his finger in the exact same episode. He is clearly the only one with powers, but why? To answer this question, we first have to understand the origins of King Neptune. Now, throughout the show, there is very little information on Neptune's past. I read the Wikipedia, I looked through the comic books, the video games, but I just couldn't find anything that would help me. But then I remembered there are SpongeBob shorts, which are like mini episodes that only air once, usually to promote something. So I started looking to see if there were any that could help us, and lo and behold, there is a SpongeBob short called The Story of King Neptune. Huh. Yeah, I guess that could be helpful. This short is about SpongeBob telling Patrick the origins of King Neptune, but it's not entirely clear whether it's true.
The story of King Neptune. When King Neptune was a little Neptune, His mother set him adrift in a river. As he floated along, a radioactive meteor fell to Earth. An alien appeared and anointed the infant with super Neptune fluid.
Also, maybe the green radioactive meteor in SpongeBob's story is a reference to Neptune's moon, which also kind of gives off a green radioactive vibe.
Is that really the origin of King Neptune?
Sure.
So King Neptune was abandoned as a baby and then given his powers by aliens. But SpongeBob is holding an upside-down comic book, so it feels a lot like something he just made up. And SpongeBob is not the most reliable narrator. Unless there's something in the story that we can definitively prove, I don't think we can use it for a theory. Like, do you really expect me to believe that Neptune got his powers from aliens? I mean, we've never even seen aliens in the show before. Except we have. And they just so happen to also live in a city called Atlantis. Season 5, Episode 12, Atlantis Square-Pantis, we see another completely different Atlantis, the lost city of Atlantis, a city that's home to a race of aliens. The Atlantean aliens traveled billions of light years to come to this planet and build their city.
For reasons unknown, this great city disappeared one day, but no ruins were ever found. All the inventions you take for granted.
Be right back.
Were given to us by the Atlanteans.
They were a peaceful race of aliens who shared their technology, but then mysteriously disappeared for some reason. And take a guess what we find when we look inside of that city. A massive sculpture of King Neptune. That story about aliens giving Neptune his powers doesn't sound so far-fetched now, does it? And that's not all we find.
Neptune's Ascension, the only surviving painting from the great lost city of Atlantis.
A painting created by the Atlanteans called Neptune's Ascension, aka Neptune ascending to his god status by being given powers by the Atlantean aliens. The story is definitely referencing this. There are too many connections for this to be a coincidence. So even though it's being told by SpongeBob and details like the aliens' appearance are wrong, the story itself is probably based on truth. And there's also a lot of evidence to support the idea that Neptune was abandoned as a baby. In Clash of Triton, Neptune is watching a soap opera in his bedroom and gets upset when his wife turns it off.
Oh, Neptune, surely this isn't the behavior befitting a king, doing nothing but watching daytime television.
Wait! Rochelle was just about to meet her biological parents.
In the soap opera, Rochelle was just about to meet her biological parents. Maybe the real reason why Neptune's so invested in the soap opera is because he's never met his biological parents either. There's even tissues on the table next to him as if he's been crying. So I was watching a new season 14 episode, and we briefly see this random lady living alone in a rundown cabin in the woods, and I think she might actually be Neptune's mom. Obviously, she's not a royal mermaid like from the story, but we don't know how much we can trust the visuals of that story. She's got the same skin and hair color, but the main thing that caught my eye was this photo of damn.
So that's really messed up. Really messed up.
No way!
Okay, to be alive as far back as prehistoric times. He even has a prehistoric drawing of a starfish wearing a crown in his bedroom. This could even explain why they thought Patrick was a descendant of royalty in Rule of Dumb.
Which makes you a descendant of royalty. You are a king.
But wait a second. Why would the King of the Sea be pretending to be Patrick's cranky old grandpa? Well, remember, the Patrick Star Show is a prequel to the main series, and if you believe my Neptune theory, then you know Neptune wasn't always the King of the Sea. It's likely at some point he stole the throne and Poseidon's wife. So, what if this takes place before Neptune became king?
When King Neptune was a little Neptune, his mother set him adrift in a river.
When he was all alone, abandoned by his own mother, desperate to find the family that he was denied his whole life. So, how would he get one? Well, it turns out that there just happens to be one family in the sea that's dumb enough not to notice when new family members are added or replaced. The Patrick Star family. So, he transforms himself into the cranky old grandfather character, Grandpat, and secretly inserts himself into the family without their knowledge.
Who's this guy?
I have no idea. Do you, Cecil?
So you can see him too, Bunny? I thought I was the only one.
I'm your grandfather. Grandpat, must we do this every morning?
Finally giving him the family love he's been searching for his entire life.
Grandpat! We love you!
And if this all still sounds far-fetched to you, listen closely to the music we hear in this scene.
Who's a hungry boy? Dig in! We grow up big and bristly.
This small piece of music is called Roman Legions, composed by John Kakavas, and it was used only one other time in SpongeBob.
Who's a hungry boy?
Behold Neptune, god of the sea, with his mighty trident.
In the season 10 episode, Trident Trouble, when they are introducing none other than King Neptune the 14th. Grandpat is King Neptune, and that is the Grandpat theory. Or at least it was until they released the episode Neptune's Ball, where we see King Neptune and Grandpat in the same room.
Man, I love your show!
And I'm really conflicted about this because, yes, this obviously debunks my theory. Neptune and Grandpat can't be the same person if they're both in the same room. But then why does all of this evidence feel so specific and intentional? Like, most evidence I find can usually be explained as an Easter egg or a coincidence, but like, I can't think of any other reason why this random room would have the Roman numerals 14 on it. Maybe this was something they were setting up but changed their minds about, or maybe there's some sort of time travel shenanigans going on, because we know Patrick's family has a time machine in this show that they use all the time.
Ghosts! Egypt!
Or maybe I'm just in denial and I'm overthinking small little random details. Like I've said, these are the theories that didn't make the cut for their own videos, so they're not all gonna be as strong as my main theories. But even if it's unlikely, I'm still gonna hold out hope that maybe I'll be proven right someday. Oh well.
This could be the same people. It could be the same people. Grandpat and Poseidon. I mean, did I say Poseidon? King Neptune. I mean, can be the same people. I mean, I know it's just a throwaway gag, or just a gag. Possibly.
Well, on to the next theory.
Oh, yep, Death Cult.
That's right. You read the title correctly. Yep. This is the Goofy Goober Alien Death Cult theory, and no, I am not joking. This seemingly innocent ice cream parlor is a front for something very sinister. The beloved SpongeBob movie actually has a much darker and tragic meaning to it. I am being 100% serious when I tell you that I think this is my best, most convincing theory yet. And if you thought my evolution theory was dark, well, get ready. This is the Goofy Goober Alien Death Cult theory. Oh boy, Alex has finally lost his mind. Goofy Goober alien death cult theory? What, did he make that in a random word generator? Some people have already found this, but I hit a bunch of teasers for future theories in this random word generator. We got Robot Apocalypse, Ghost Pirate, and even Meet Muse Spore for when the series just became full films. Just a fun way to foreshadow things. Huh, I wonder if there's any teasers for future projects hidden in this video. Goofy Goobers is an old-fashioned ice cream parlor that first appeared in the SpongeBob movie. It's the very definition of a fun, innocent place for children. So, how on earth did I come to the conclusion
Alex Spears is on point all the time.
We've just scratched the surface of how far Goofy Goobers will go to brainwash its members. Things are about to get darker.
Hold on, this is kind of getting weird. I'm getting goosebumps. Yo, this is weird!
It's weird, but it's good.
There's a part in the SpongeBob movie where SpongeBob and Patrick go to Goofy Goobers and eat tons of ice cream all night to the point where they become.
That was the movie. That was the first. That was the first movie. When SpongeBob didn't get the manager of the second Krusty Krab too. Krabby Krab, the second Krusty Krab. So he went to Gooby Goobles, and Patrick was trying to cheer him up, and some kind of stupid kind of gag. SpongeBob is drunk in this scene, but out of spell, he's a really good. I mean, it's just theories, but he knows what he's talking about. Out of spell, well, we don't see it. When we watched the first movie of SpongeBob, and we didn't see the hints or the messages of this movie. Now we know it's an alien, goofy alien cult, and it's pretty. I mean, everything's a lot of stuff you missed, a lot of hints or a lot of messages is in this one movie. We totally didn't see. Honest Bill, tell us what we see from this movie now.
Completely drunk off of it. It's a really funny scene, but it begs the question, why does the ice cream get them drunk? Maybe that's just how
Exactly why. When you eat any ice cream, when you eat ice cream, it doesn't give you drunk. So they're putting something in the ice cream to get them drunk. And it could be a alien cult. They're putting some kind of alcohol into the ice cream to make him drunk.
ice cream works in the SpongeBob universe, and it's the show's way of making a family-friendly alcohol reference. But we've seen other instances where characters eat tons of ice cream and it doesn't have this effect on them. Alright, well, maybe this was just a one-time gag for the movie, and it's not a consistent part of the continuity. But in the Season 11 episode, Call the Cops, we get this scene.
Yes. I saw this episode before. But this time,
Find in a way to ensure that this happens.
One to
appreciate you. And they're the same person. A family fee and specific detail to include to brainwash its members. Guys, he convinced people to believe.
He got more teeth. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. That's
one too many goofy goobers again, eh?
Scene. Consistent part of the continuity. This was just a one-time gag for the movie, and it's not a consistent part of the continuity. But in the Season 11 episode, Call the Cops, we get this scene.
That's weird because when Patrick go to Goofy Google, he got his coupon. Trying to get his super supplies in his coupon. Oh boy. And wait a minute, no. What was it? What was it? Not this one. This one. So he orders so many flavors. He eats it. He doesn't get drunk. He did not get drunk on this one, but the episode, as Isabel said, called the cops. Oh, I think that's the episode. Yeah, called the cops, and then he was drunk. Doesn't make any sense.
Of ice cream, and it doesn't have the
Doesn't affect him. Oh wait. No, this is not Google Google. This is just a regular ice cream parlor. So he ate another ice cream parlor, but it's not Google Google's. He ate all the flavors in the shelves. No affection, no getting drunk. But when he go to Goofy Goofles, it's going to affect him big time. Probably they're putting some kind of medicine and drug and alcohol or drugs in ice cream.
this effect on them. Alright, well, maybe this was just a one-time gag for the movie, and it's not a consistent part of the continuity. But in the season 11 episode called The Cops, we get this scene.
One too many goofy goobers again, eh, Patrick?
So, another deliberate reference to Goofy Goober ice cream having a weird alcoholic effect on people. Is it possible that they put something in the ice cream to make...
That's what I'm thinking. There's putting something in the ice cream to make them bug, to make them it's not normal ice cream. It's something you put in the ice cream.
People more open to cult indoctrination. Cults have been known to use drugs
like this to put some kind of drug in the ice cream, and it looks like ice cream. It does, but like some kind of powder. Cocaine. It looks like flour, but anyway. I mean, it can mix into the ice cream
to keep their followers obedient and suggestible. One of the most infamous examples of this being Charles Manson, who used LSD to convince his followers of his beliefs. If this is the case with Goofy Goobers, they'd probably want to make sure everyone there eats as much ice cream as possible, and the Goofy Goober building is actually cleverly designed in a way to ensure that this happens. There are no windows in the entire building, so you can't tell whether it's day or night. And the Goofy Goober clock just has random numbers on it, so it's impossible to keep track of time. Because of this, SpongeBob eats ice cream all night and is actually late for work for the very first time. Also, can I point out the fact that the eyes on the clock seem to follow Patrick around in the Goofy Newbie? It's a really creepy and specific detail to include. I mean, we know from the movie that the eyes are usually supposed to be looking straight ahead, but here, consistent part of the continuity. No reason for the manager to be this consistent part of the continuity. But in the season 11 episode called The Cops, we get this scene. Their followers to trade their money for a made-up Goofy Goober currency.
I don't know what Plankton's paying you, but if you let us go...
Consistent part of the kind in a way to ensure that this happens. There are no windows in the entire building, so...
There is no windows in the entire building. That makes more sense. And there was a clock. Does have... The first time I saw this in the movie, I thought it was just a regular ice cream parlor, but it has no windows. The time doesn't tell you what's time to leave. I mean, it's a kid's it's a kids ice cream parlor. Like, it's innocent, but it's now we know that, well, No, now we know the truth about this alien dark code theory. This is only a theory. This is not like it's gonna like conform. This is just a theory of Alex Buff theory. Alex theory. Does make sense, but pretty much makes sense.
So you can't tell whether it's day or night. And the Goofy Goober clock just has random numbers on it, so it's impossible to keep track of time. Because of this, SpongeBob eats ice cream all night and is actually late for work for the very first time. Also, can I point out the fact that the eyes on the clock seem to follow Patrick around in the Goofy Newbie? It's a really creepy and specific detail to include. I mean, we know from the movie
They'll watching you every move. Yeah, in the movie it doesn't. It just like it looks straight. It doesn't follow you. In the new episode, it follows you around. That's creepy.
that the eyes are usually supposed to be looking straight ahead, but here they're always watching Patrick, their next target for indoctrination. Now, if the ice cream is what keeps their followers in line, they definitely want to make sure their employees were eating as much as possible. And it turns out Goofy Goobers actually has a policy about this.
Wow, I can't believe Goofy Goober's employees get to eat all the ice cream they want on this job.
The employees get to eat all the ice cream they want. Very interesting. And there's evidence to suggest that the ice cream can do a lot more than just make you suggestible. At the beginning of the Goofy Newbie, Patrick is holding out the line asking for samples of ice cream. The employee he's talking to gets frustrated and calls for security to kick him out.
This is the spin-off, the Patrick show, Scudina, the voice of Scudina. And Scudina knows nothing about Patrick. So it's the drugs are making her forget people, not forget anybody's names, because the press of drugs inside of the pudding into the ice cream.
You sampled every flavor we have. Will you please just pick one?
I would like you to use my spoon.
Security, we have a...
Okay, that was always gonna be always. And use my spoon is a like Debbie Snow. It's that's not a small. Kind of not a spoon. That's more like a shovel for snow, but it's kind of funny. It's just like how dumb is Patrick, but it's honestly it's pretty dumb.
Sample mooch at the counter.
But there's something oddly familiar about
Scudina. She is Scudina. And when she's going up. She's going up.
this employee. Hang on a second. Isn't that Patrick's sister?
That is definitely Scudina. The same, yeah. But she has like one tooth. She should have 3 teeth. Anyway, I mean, it's kind of hard to say because she doesn't wear glasses. She's probably she doesn't wear glasses when she's an adult. Her teeth is different. Oh, that's probably just baby teeth. How old is Scudina anyway? She's not wearing suction cups on her hand. She's the exact same. Well, she's probably the same, but a little bit different here because she's all grown up now. And Scudina was a kid in the Patrick show, so she's probably it's probably the same, but she's probably grown up now. She has eyelashes. She got the same eyelashes. What else? Oh, the nose is gone. Is that what's the nose? Squidward has a nose. So this is what Squidward's sister or adopted sister? Is it? Looks like Squidward's sister or daughter or some. Kind of like he has a big nose like Squidward, but like the other Squidward, awkward. Because it's awkward. She's different. Anyway.
The new spin-off, The Patrick Star Show, is a prequel to the main show that introduces us to Patrick's little sister, Squidina. And here, we see her all grown up, working at Goofy Goobers. She's even credited as Squidina and has the same voice actor.
No, it's not. Look at the head. You're saying the head. No, the head. Look at her head. Her head right here is thicker than the head. You're telling me.
That's true, because her head is triangle. Her head is not round like a peanut.
When she grow, her head not gonna get bigger. BS.
Again, I agree the designs look different, but
true. That's true. That's definitely true. When she grows up, she has to be a lot more bigger, a lot more rectangle, bigger. That is definitely pretty true.
the show is telling us in the credits that they're supposed to be the same character. This isn't a me problem. This is the show's problem, not mine. Also, this is another theory where I don't really have much new stuff to add, so I'm just gonna respond to this guy's reaction video because I think he's really funny. In the Patrick Star Show, we actually do see her eating Goofy Goober ice cream as a kid, which fits with the pattern of kids who eat the ice cream eventually getting indoctrinated into the cult. Now, Squidina and Patrick have a very close, loving relationship in the Patrick Star Show, but here they act like they're total strangers.
It's probably from the drugs messing her up. Probably she's it's probably the drugs. She doesn't know Patrick. She doesn't know anything. All she knows is serving customers ice cream and watching customers eat too much ice cream and seeing the effects of the drugs and try to be the member of the Google Death Alien Cult.
It's not surprising that Patrick would forget his own sister, but Squidina is always portrayed as being smart. It's almost like she completely forgot about him. One of the biggest tactics that cults use to indoctrinate people is isolating them from their friends and family to make them more vulnerable and dependent on the cult. And that's exactly what we're seeing here with Squidina. She has no memory of her family. The ice cream might just be affecting her memory as well. I mean, if she was just meant to be some random reusable character here with no continuity, why would the creators go out of their way to specifically credit her as Squidina, unlike the other random employees who are just credited as employee? Feels like they're deliberate.
That is, yeah. Everybody's, it's employees, and then the Squidina, that's making any sense. So why look at why are animals got the ways for Squidina in this one?
Deliberately trying to draw attention to it.
Never mind. She has the same name, so I can't debate it. They're the same name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's true. You can't debate something if it's the same name, and it's the same name and same voice actor of Patrick of Squidina. The spin-off of Patrick's show and SpongeBob. No sense.
Okay, thank you. Never mind. At the end of the Goofy Newbie, Patrick goes crazy and eats a ton of the ice cream, and then the episode ends in a very interesting way.
Okay, I have a theory. So, I don't have a theory. You know how algebra is, but I have a theory. It's probably not the ice cream. I mean, it's probably the ice cream, but it's probably not the ice cream. It's probably at the employees or the manager asking everybody to join the Goofy Google, give them a chance to work there and get them paid by the true leader, and they're gonna get them paid and get them reward and give them but not paid reward in the end. So this is probably my theory comes in. The big one is the aliens or this powerful guy who works at Goofy Goofle for a long time, and seems like Patrick is too stupid to realize. I mean, all fish sometimes very gullible or very stupid just to fall for it, and that's and here's called Patrick. Old SpongeBob is most naive and stupid and uncomfortable characters in SpongeBob.
Hugs and ice.
And so when those in the story, when they're in the shift, they'll go to the spaceship or go to the spaceship or go to this secret room, meet the meet them getting the reward of this guy, and never see them again because they're dead. Reward is death. The rule, but Alice Bill is better theory than me.
Now, I don't think Patrick was actually abducted by aliens. I mean, we see him on Earth in the very next episode, and the UFO has the same fake look as the one in the training video. I think that because of all the ice cream he ate, he now fully accepts the Goofy Goober's beliefs, and it's caused him to hallucinate the UFO. So, at this point, I'd say we can make a very strong case for Goofy Goobers being a cult, but with this realization comes a very dark and tragic new meaning for the SpongeBob movie.
I'm going to end here. I'm going to do some other stuff today. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for liking. Thanks for watching. I'll let you guys go. Don't forget to like and subs. I'm trying to get over this sickness. Rest of the day. Hope you have a great day. And hope you have a great Easter too, guys. Bye bye. Since